Thanks for staying with us here on THV 11 Plus for Arkansas News Now. I'm Ashley King with meteorologist Nathan Scott, and you've got an important forecast for us today. We need to be aware.
It's warm, it's humid. A front is making its way in here from the west, and you see now those clouds are breaking up. More sunshine. Not always the best news, but the threat of severe weather out there today is fairly low. Yes, we still have that THV 11 weather impact alert in effect, and this is primarily for you folks well to the west and northwest of Little Rock, Russellville, Mount Ida, Mena, Danville, those locations. 6 o'clock until midnight, there could be strong, possibly severe thunderstorms rolling their way through your neighborhood. Here's the latest from the Storm Prediction Center. Not much has changed. It's still a 2 out of 5 risk, or a slight risk, stretching from Pocahontas through Clinton, Russellville, Mena, and off to the north and west. And here in Central Arkansas, right along I-30, Little Rock Metro, up through I-57, we have a level 1 out of 5, or a marginal risk of severe weather. Radar loop, not much is happening here in Central Arkansas. There could be a passing shower through the afternoon, but the bulk of the activity still rolling its way through northwest Arkansas. And here's future radar. Notice not too much happening for the rest of the afternoon other than an isolated shower here in Central Arkansas. Different story, though, in northwest Arkansas, where you see showers and thunderstorms developing, especially as we get into the hours after sunset. And those storms in Oklahoma and into west Arkansas could pack a punch. I'll say right now, the main threats would be large hail and damaging winds. The tornado threat, it's really low, but there is a slightly higher chance in parts of the state. I'll have more on that threat breakdown. I'll let you know what to expect for the rest of the work week coming up.
Nathan, thank you. There's a chaotic situation on the ground in the Middle East as the U.S. and Israel hammer targets inside Iran, and Iran continues to retaliate. The State Department has urged U.S. nationals to leave 14 countries in the region. Matt Gutman reports from Tel Aviv.
It's a war fought mostly in the skies, but on the ground, civilians are bearing the brunt. In Iran, thousands poured into the streets for a mass funeral for what health officials there say were at least 175 girls killed in an elementary school. And nearby, rows of graves seen awaiting coffins. Israeli military spokesman Nadav Shoshani.
See them lying about some of the details of it. I can tell you that we haven't found any connection to IDF operations.
So you're saying it's not the IDF that attacked that school, but you're also suggesting that it might be some sort of misinformation?
I'm suggesting taking caution when using information that's provided by a regime that massacres their own people.
And across the region, commercial jets are grounded. The State Department says around 1 million Americans are stranded. President Trump acknowledging that the repatriation hasn't been smooth.
Why wasn't there an evacuation plan, and would you send planes to get people out?
Well, because it happened all very quickly.
Kat Spitzer says that quick reaction left her stuck in Dubai.
That's been a little tough when you sort of hear that the government is kind of like, nope, there's nothing.
And across the region, the dreaded routine of sirens and missiles, and in Israel, bomb shelters.
Just closed the door to the bomb shelter. Dozens of people in here. You can see people bring their dogs, obviously their children. They've just come off the street, and this is the rhythm here in Tel Aviv.
Fleeing that routine is Tamar Rubenstein, who just arrived in Israel for a visit, pregnant with twins.
I'm getting close. I'm 23 weeks, so I didn't want to get to the point where I wouldn't be cleared to travel anymore.
Her exodus, 7 hours by train, then bus to Egypt, then flights to Athens, Munich, and finally Chicago.
So why not just wait until the missiles end and stay in a safe place?
I don't know how long this is going to go on for. There's such a lack of clarity.
Secretary Rubio has said that the U.S. is going to start to organize charter flights at some point soon to get people home. But given that this is an active conflict zone still, that's going to take a lot of coordination and deconfliction, and that means that those flights might be slow to arrive here. Matt Gutman, CBS News, Tel Aviv.
And a Georgia father has been found guilty in connection to a deadly high school shooting. Jurors convicted Colin Gray on all 27 charges, including second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter. Prosecutors said he gave his 14-year-old son access to the gun used in the 2024 shooting at Appalachia High School that killed 2 students and 2 teachers. Gray testified he bought the rifle as a Christmas gift to bond with his son through hunting. Some victims' relatives cried as the verdict was read. Gray now faces prison time while his son awaits trial. We caught up with Hallie Shoffner earlier this morning. Hear what she had to say about competing against Tom Cotton and her priorities for Arkansas. It's coming up.
And there is a future radar, and here are your highs for today before those storms roll their way in. Expect those numbers to top out in the upper 60s, low 70s in northwest Arkansas, but close to 80 here in central Arkansas and well into the 80s in south and southeast Arkansas. I'll have another look at future radar to talk about the potential of strong to severe thunderstorms, not only for today, but also later this week coming up.
It is almost 8:18. Welcome back. We're here with Hallie Shoffner. She is the new Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate. Thank you for coming in this early.
Thank you so much for having me.
We sure appreciate it. Tell us how it feels to now be officially facing off against Senator Tom Cotton and some of the issues you'd like to say going forward.
I mean, I'm incredibly humbled, really, that the people of Arkansas have put their faith in me, that they trust me to take it to the mat for them every single day. I mean, the reason that I'm doing this right now is because Arkansas families are struggling. I mean, they are holding it together right now by just sheer force of will.
Your own farm.
My own farm, yes. I mean, grit and faith, that's really what defines us as a state. Our farmers, our families. I came into this because I realized that hard work doesn't mean a good life anymore. I mean, all I wanted to do was farm. And I like to tell people, listen, all Tom Cotton had to do was fight for a farm bill. I wouldn't be here today. I'd still be farming. But he chose not to represent us.
Can you tell us through your journey a little bit as well? I know we've discussed so many times where, you know, your background, your history, how much you've been around the state of Arkansas as well. I think you talked about Senator Blanche Lincoln too last night, the history that you did in 2011, and then obviously the history made in the 1930s. What's your personal journey? What are you hoping to achieve? And I know you're not just doing this for yourself, but others as well.
I mean, I chose this race partly because it's competitive, because Tom Cotton has made himself vulnerable, but also because as a United States Senator, what I want to do, what I feel my job is to knock down the door of any country or company that wants to buy a Arkansas grown or an Arkansas made product, to lift up our small businesses, to bring industry into the state, and ultimately to create jobs with high wages so that families again can prosper.
Right now, Cotton has some input in what is happening in the situation, the foreign in the Middle East and Iran.
Yeah.
Why don't we get your thoughts?
Sure.
As if you were giving us your thoughts on what's happening now and President Trump's apparent interest in making this a decisive strike.
And I've said this already. I don't want to live in a world in which Iran has a nuclear weapon. And nobody does. And the Iranian regime was definitely promoting, oppression in the area. That being said, we were told last year that we'd obliterated their nuclear program. And I've been around the state. I have heard from Arkansans. We don't have an appetite for another expensive, prolonged foreign conflict. And why is it that Tom Cotton is willing to spend any amount of time and resources outside the borders of the United States or Arkansas when right now our farmers are struggling? I mean, they passed a bridge payment that was $11 billion, but that averages out to $50 an acre when our farmers are losing $300 an acre. Why is it that we focus on Venezuela or give a $20 billion payout to Argentina or fight in Iran in a prolonged foreign conflict when we're struggling right here at home?
Let me ask this. It's been a deep red state for a while. Obviously, Senator Cotton has been there for many years now. Is there any intimidation, or what makes you want to go head to head with someone who's been in office now for multiple years, but at the same time, Democrats have struggled. They have not done well here in the state, especially outside of Pulaski County. Of your message that resonate with folks who may see a Democrat by your name and think, I'm not going to do that?
Well, I think there's a couple things going on here. First is that it's true, Democrats haven't been showing up in rural areas like where I'm from. I mean, as a Democrat, as a farmer, I haven't felt well represented. And I think that's on us. I mean, 12 years ago, they kicked Democrats out of the state. And I think it's our responsibility to come back and say, no, we really care. And I go around the state and I tell people, listen, most Arkansans are registered nonpartisan. If you take the number of registered Republicans and Democrats, you put them together, dwarfed by the number of nonpartisan registered voters in this state. And that is because we are fiercely independent. We do not like being told what to do. And I say, listen, I'm not asking you to become a Democrat. I'm not asking you to switch parties. Just don't you think we can do a heck of a lot better than what we're doing right now?
Well, as of this morning, you are the U.S. official Democratic candidate for Senate in November, and we thank you for getting up early on no sleep at all. And do you get are you going off to sleep in a little bit?
Nope. It is, you know what? We are going back
Full
to work
throttle.
right now. Okay. We have run the half marathon. It is now time for the other half.
There you go. You're a farmer. You're on your own schedule. So you know
what? These are the same hours. I bet.
I got
no
kidding.
Good point. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank y'all so much.
Good afternoon, Arkansas. Meteorologist Nathan Scott. We have been very lucky so far this year because we've had no tornado warnings issued for the entire state of Arkansas. Compare that to this time last year when we had 12. And then March 15th happened, and that number skyrocketed because March 15th, of course, was a terrible day here in the natural state. So we may have our first tornado warning issued for this year happening this evening because the potential is there. There could be 1 or 2 storms that may try to rotate. Severe weather breakdown, the risk is a 2 out of 5 into northwest Arkansas from Mena, Russellville, Clinton, Batesville, Jasper, also towards Fayetteville, and then it's a 1 out of 5 here in a large part of central Arkansas from Arkadelphia to Hot Springs, in Little Rock, Searcy, and up through Jonesboro. When we look at the main threats, they continue to be the threat of dinosaur-sized hail and also maybe as the storms collapse, producing 50 to 65 mile per hour winds. Those are the highest percentages if these storms can reach their maximum potential. There has been a slight change in the tornado potential into north central Arkansas. This yellow area has a slightly higher chance there could be a storm that tries to produce a brief tornado. Future radar, this is this afternoon. Not much happening here in central Arkansas, a mixture of sun and clouds. There could be isolated shower, but there's those storms bubbling up, and they continue to bubble up through the evening hours. But you notice where they're headed. They primarily develop and march their way off to the north and northeast. So 9 o'clock here in central Arkansas, it's still quiet. By far the worst the weather is going to be off to the west. But any one of these cells could become feisty and try to become strong, possibly severe, with the threat of some hail, some heavy rain, lightning, thunder, some damaging wind gusts, and if there are a couple of storms that rotate, then that tornado threat will be in play. Once again, the tornado threat is low, but we can't rule it out just because we do have some wind energy in place. Those cells will merge into just a mess, a whole line of showers and thunderstorms, so that's going to cut down on the chance of tornadoes and also really severe weather. This is primarily just going to be heavy rain as we go through the overnight. We need the rain, and there could be some minor flash flooding concerns into the Ozarks. Does it make its way into central Arkansas late tonight and for the start of your Thursday? That's something we're still going to have to watch the trends on, because some information says that's not going to be the case. It stalls out just to the west of us. So looking at the future radar throughout the day on Thursday, the best chance of showers and thunderstorms will be in the morning, and then I think we'll see drier conditions through the afternoon. That's round one of shower and thunderstorm activity. Then we've got another potential of more spicy storms moving in here for Friday night and into early Saturday morning. Here's our long-range European. During the day on Friday, a few showers, almost like what we're seeing out there today, with some breaks in the cloud cover. But Friday night into Saturday, this could be a line of showers and thunderstorms that may pack a punch with some damaging wind gusts and hail. And as that makes its way through, we'll start to see things clear out, I think, by Saturday afternoon. So the best chance of rain on Saturday will be in the morning, and then starts to push its way off to the east and southeast. Sunday, still the opportunity. There could be some spotty rain into, I would say, South Arkansas. And then getting into next week, we're in an active weather pattern. We could see maybe a better chance of strong to severe thunderstorms by Tuesday night and Wednesday of next week. So lots to watch. We'll certainly keep you updated here on THV 11 and, of course, right here on THV 11 Plus. 63 tonight. Showers and storms will try to make their way to the east and southeast. 78 tomorrow. Areas of rain and thunder, still lots of clouds with maybe some sunshine for the afternoon. And your 7-day forecast, once again, not one day is going to be a washout, but anywhere across the state over the next 7 days will have that chance of a passing shower or maybe some thunderstorms rolling their way through. Overall temperatures will stay well above average.
We also sat down with Chris Jones this morning here at THV 11. We're going to hear his thoughts on the Arkansas primary and what he has planned ahead for the race coming up.
Welcome back to THV 11 Plus. It is 7:15, and we are joined alongside the newest Democratic nominee for the 2nd Congressional District here in Central Arkansas for the state of Arkansas, Chris Jones. I know you slept about, an hour last night?
Look, who needs sleep? We got work to do.
You're on adrenaline. Well,
Yeah,
tell us
yeah.
about that work, and congratulations on your victory, by the way.
Thank you. Well, thank you for having me here. First off, I got to thank God for all that he's done. Like, I wouldn't be in this position, the journey of my life, without him and what he's done for me and my family. I'm super excited about what we saw, certainly for the primary win, but more importantly, Arkansans showed up. Turnout was right, huge turnout. And what that says is that people care about what's going on, and they feel like they actually have some power to do something about it. So I'm excited.
I know you're very excited for this opportunity as well.
Yeah.
Can you talk about just the experience you got running for governor just 4 years ago? You know, you've been through this campaign, you've taken on the GOP before. What does it mean now moving forward, knowing that you've gone through the primaries and now next up you will be kind of going head to head with Representative Hill?
I'll be going head to head with him. Look, I learned a lot when I ran for governor. You know, hit all 75 counties, talk to people regularly. But what I learned the most was that you have to keep being present in community and keep listening to people, because they'll tell you not only what their concerns are, but they'll actually give you solutions. And so as I look to November, what I'm seeing is that people are fed up with not being heard, they're fed up with not being represented, and they want someone who understands their issues, who understands who they are, and who will actually represent them in Washington.
And that is a good thing, but of course, Rich Hill has tremendous experience. Not only is the Senate Finance Committee chair, he's been on the Intelligence Committee. He has a lot of Washington experience. And am I hearing you say that you are taking Arkansas's problems?
Absolutely, Arkansas first. And here's the thing that keeps coming up. And I see it, but I've also heard it from folks. They're asking themselves, and they're saying to me, what has his experience done for me? Over the last 10 years, wages have been flat. Their life is more stressful now than it was when he started, and things are just not better for them. So that's the question they're asking. How has his experience benefited them? And it seems like it's not benefiting them.
Have you had any conversations with the representative recently? I know you guys are both running, but at the same time, too, it's no secret we've been a deep red state for a long time. You're running as a Democrat, even when that D in the checkbox, it can come with a little intimidation going to the ballot box. Your plan going forward, how do you hope to flip this seat, head to Washington, and then make the difference that you want to make individually? Yeah,
look, I think you flip it by showing up in community. I think you flip it by continuing to speak to the people and making sure that they know that you're with them. Last time I spoke with Representative Hill was at the filing day, and it was just a very brief moment. I haven't spoken with him since then. But here's what I know time and time again, that people are fed up with where they are. They're fed up with the chaos that's coming out of Washington. They're fed up with their issues not being put at the forefront, whether you're talking about farmers, or nurses, or teachers, or veterans, and my wife's a combat veteran. So I'm a combat veteran spouse, and I understand those issues. People are saying we actually want somebody who will represent us, and they're not seeing that in French Hill. That's what's going to flip the seat.
Let's talk about your personal life. You are about to jump into a massive campaign that requires tenacity, physicality. How do you mentally and physically prepare for what you're about to do? And missing your family too.
Well, that part, you know, I would say one of the best preparations for this is being a girl dad of 3. Like they will keep you going nonstop. Let me tell you.
I got one.
That gets you to a whole nother level. But at the end of the day, like I said at the beginning, this is all about God. And I do feel empowered to be ready to do that. It's going to take a lot of energy. It's going to take a lot of effort. It's going to take a lot of mental focus and capacity. But I am inspired by the people. The fact that folks showed up in record numbers, that's what keeps me going. Because no matter what, as hard as I might run this race, there is still someone who has to decide between prescription drugs and rent. There's still a kid who's like, nobody's paying attention to me. There's still a child who's going to bed hungry tonight. So that's what keeps me going.
Real quickly, have you heard from yet, or will you be in touch with the National Democratic Party?
I have not heard from them yet. I'm sure they'll come in, which is fine, that's great. But at the end of the day, this is about Arkansans. Whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, it's about Arkansans in this district stepping up for each other.
Well, now you're the official Democratic nominee for the 2nd Congressional District. We wish you the best of luck. Of course, we'll be catching up with Representative Hill very soon, I'm sure as well. But on to November.
On to November.
There you go.
Thanks
Thank you, sir, very much.
Thank you much
Good to see
for coming
you.
in so early.
Yes, sir. Good to see you. Thanks. Yeah, get some rest now. There you go.
You've had rest. You're from
we're
here on
good.
out.
We're ready to run.
Well, we appreciate you coming in. Thank you.
Well, it may be difficult for you to get some rest out there tonight because we're going to have a round of showers and thunderstorms impacting folks to the west and northwest of the metro. One final look at your 7-day forecast coming up.
Welcome back. Here is a little look of what's streaming tonight on THV 11 Plus. Just an easy way to keep up with more local reporting and original THV 11 content. To download the app, just search THV 11 Plus on Roku, Apple TV, or Fire TV. It is free, and it's a good way to stay up to date with what's going on with the weather, too. At 2:30, you can watch Tom Brannon with an update. And listen to this. A lucky Arkansan is celebrating a huge Powerball win after ordering a $250.8 million ticket through the jackpot app. The winning numbers for Monday night were 2, 17, 18, 38, 62, and the Powerball 20. This was only the winner's second time using the app. No word yet on their identity, but in Arkansas, you can stay anonymous for up to 3 years after winning. This is the second time we've had a big winner lately.
What's going on? Usually it's California and New York.
New Jersey or
never
something.
Arkansas.
Yeah, two big winners. It's pretty nice. We were talking about Tom, though, having a show at 2:30 today.
Yes, he's going to be looking at the latest information. He's going to have a brand new update, 2:30 right here on THV 11 Plus to let you know how things are evolving when it comes to the threat of strong to severe thunderstorms developing later this afternoon through this evening, primarily for west and northwest Arkansas. But even here in central Arkansas, we may have some rumbles of thunder and some bouts of heavy rain late tonight and for the start of your Thursday. Another round potentially Friday night into Saturday.
Oh, goodness. All right. Well, thank you for watching Arkansas News Now. Have a great day.